Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another legendary tabletop live stream. So today we're going to be playing Wingspan again, so we're playing with the base game, the European expansion, and the Oceania expansion. And just about have everything set up here. So we just need to pick some end of round goals. We're going to be playing on hard difficulty, so we're going to put 5 spent nectar in each of the habitats for the automa. So 5 in the wetlands, 5 in the grasslands, and 5 in the forest. And we're not playing with the Audubon card, society card, so we have that out. And then we can pick some round goals. So we're just gonna pull them out of the bag at random. So for round 1, we're gonna have cards in hand. And then for round 2, we're gonna do eggs in platform nests. And then for round 3, cubes on play a bird. Okay. Then round 4, it's gonna be worm and food cost of your birds. Alright, so we have 1 European expansion end of round goal, and then a base game and 2 Oceania expansion goals. So I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is set up. We need to roll the feeder. This feeder and see what food comes out for the start of the game. Okay. So nice variety there. We have everything but fish, it looks like. And the nectars are wild, so yeah. I've shuffled all the cards. This is a big stack of cards, so a lot of cards here. I ran them through the card shuffler. We're gonna flip 3, put them out in the tray. We can actually look at that. So starting out in the tray, we have the Eastern Imperial Eagle. We have the Barn Owl. And a red-necked avocet. Okay. Eastern Imperial Eagle's good. So for each rat in the bird's food cost, you may pay with 1 card from your hand instead. And if you do, tuck the paid cards behind this card. So if you don't have 3 rats and you have 3 cards, you can just tuck the 3 cards. Next, we're gonna get 5 cards. So this is gonna be our opening hand. So draw 5. Okay, we got 4, 5. All right, let's look at these. So we have Northern Cardinal, the Cockatiel, Brewer's Blackbird, Chestnut Collared Longspur, and Rose-Breasted Grosbeak. Alright, and then we'll draw 2 bonus cards, and we get to keep one of these. So we have Mechanical Engineer and Diet Specialist. Alright, Mechanical Engineer, sets of the 4 nest types. So if you have a bowl nest, if you have one of each of the sets, and I guess a star nest counts as any nest type. And if you get 2 total sets, it's 8 points. And then with Diet Specialist is birds with a food cost of 3. Birds with a food cost of 3 food. And then, if you have 2 to 3, it's 3 points. And then 4 or more birds that cost 3 food, it's 6 points. All right. So we don't really have the best wetland options here. This cockatiel could be a good start for the wetlands. The red-necked avocet, so when activated, if the player to your left or right has a worm in their personal supply, gain a worm from the general supply. Alright, I'm not sure how that would work with the Automa. I'm assuming they'd have to have a cube on the end of round goal, otherwise they don't have a worm. Yeah, don't really like the wetlands option, so we might keep the cockatiel. I don't know, maybe the cardinal. Everything else is a little too expensive, so we do start with one nectar. And then do we want to keep mechanical engineer or diet specialist? Let's keep mechanical engineer, and we'll just go for it. So we're going to get rid of diet specialist, along with these three birds, so brewer's blackbird, chestnut-collared longspur, and rose-breasted grosbeak. So we're keeping the cockatiel and the northern cardinal, and that's going to be our starting hand. So that's pretty much it. So we're ready to start, and we always go first. So we do start with a nectar, and then since we got rid of 3 bird cards, we're going to pick 3 food to keep. So we know we need a wheat and a cherry, and then we might as well just keep a worm. In case we want to pick up the avocet. Okay, so we have some food. I kind of want to play the cockatiel into the wetland, so we'll do that first. So we're going to play a bird, and we'll put this cockatiel down in the wetlands, and we're going to use the nectar to pay for it, because the cockatiel's when activated power is discard a wheat to choose a card from the tray and tuck it behind this bird. Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, let's use the wheat instead. We're gonna use the wheat, and the reason is, if I use the nectar here and then draw cards and do the wheat, I won't be able to play the cardinal. So if I play the cockatiel then the cardinal, then I can gain food, get it some extra food, and then draw cards, because we have 7 turns after this. Okay, so first turn's done. We played a bird. We have the cockatiel here in the wetlands, so we're going to flip for the Automa. Automa is going to go here. We have the round tracker here on round 1. And we're just going to flip this deck, and it's going to tell us what they're going to do. So round 1, they're going to lay 1 egg, and they would lose a cube on the end of round goal if they had any to lose, but they don't. So we'll just give them an egg, and that's going to be it. Alright. So second activation, round 1. I'm thinking of playing this cardinal, so we'll play another bird. And we're going to play the northern cardinal into the forest. So that's going to be a wheat and a cherry. So we don't have the wheat, so we're going to use the nectar as the wild. And the spent nectar is going to go here. And that's our turn, so we played a bird. And then we'll flip for the Automa again. They're going to lay an egg, and this time they're going to gain a cube. So now they have 2 eggs. And a +1 towards the end of round goal. So the end of round goal, there's going to be a card here. So for round 1, it's going to say cards in hand. They start with 2. So they'll always have 2 cards in hand, and then each cube will be +1. So they have 3 right now, 3 cards in hand. We have none. Okay. So I think I'm going to gain food. It would be nice to draw cards first, but I want to be able to... I kind of like that Eastern Imperial Eagle too. Because if we take food, they could wipe the tray. So maybe we pick up the Eastern Imperial Eagle while we can. That gives us a platform nest, and then we're one nest away from 1 set for Mechanical Engineer. So I think I'll draw cards. I'll take 1 off the top first. Okay, we got Seti's Warbler. So this is a round end ability. This bird counts double towards the end of round goal if it qualifies for the goal. And then for our second card, we're just going to draw the Eastern Imperial Eagle, and then we will skip the Cockatiel because we don't have a wheat. So that was our third activation. We'll refill the tray. Forster's turn comes up. Okay, that's a star nest. That could be useful for Mechanical Engineer. Let's flip for the Automa. And they're going to take food here in this order. So rats. There is 1 rat, so we'll remove the rat and then activate all of our pink powers, and we don't have any. So next turn. Okay, now we can take food and try to get that wheat. So we get 2 food. Let's take a wheat and a nectar. And then we'll activate our Northern Cardinal, and it's just gain 1 cherry from the supply. So we'll gain cherry, and that's it. Now we'll flip for the Automa again. Okay, they're going to lay 1 egg. Okay, they got 3 eggs. We could draw cards again. We might just do that. So let's draw cards. We don't really have anything too interesting going on in our hand. So, okay, here's a little penguin. Alright, so this is a 7-point star nest bird, costs 3 fish. And when activated, draw and discard 5 cards from the deck. For each fish in their food cost, cash 1 fish from the supply on this bird. Okay, that could be interesting. It is a star nest as well. So we get 1 more bird. Let's just draw another one off the top. Okay, Juniper Titmouse. So this is another forest bird. Costs a worm and a wheat. And when activated, cash a wheat from the supply on this bird. Alright. So now we drew our 2 cards. We're gonna activate the Cockatiel. So this is discard a wheat to choose a card from the tray and tuck it behind this bird. So we'll discard a wheat. And we will tuck the red-necked avocet. Oh, we completely forgot to give the Automa a bonus card. So we're going to pull. They can't use that one. Okay, so they have Prairie Manager. So 19% of cards. Birds that can only live in the grasslands. Alright. Okay, so that's why I was wondering what birds they would take. Alright. So we are going to tuck the red-necked avocet behind the Cockatiel. And that's our 5th turn. So we'll refill the tray. And the common kingfisher comes up. And then we're going to flip for the Automa. And they're going to discard the tray this time. and gain a face down card. And another cube, so that puts them at 4 cards in hand. And we have 4 right now, too. So we might just keep drawing to win this first end of round goal, see what we can dig for. But these are gone. They're going to gain 1 face down for 4 points. And then we'll refill the tray. So in the tray now we have Montague's Harrier. The Gala is interesting, as well as the American Crow. Oh boy. Okay, so the Gala. And the American Crow. I would just take both. Alright, so we have 3 activations left. We don't have a wheat here. I think I'm going to pick up the Gala. Alright, so we're going to draw 2 cards. We'll take the Gala and the... We want the American Crow. Montague's Harrier's out there. Let's just take 1 off the top. Okay, Pygmy Nuthatch. Okay, and then we can't activate the Cockatiel because we don't have a wheat. So we'll refill the tray. Australian Reed Warbler comes up. So this is a play another bird in your wetlands. Pay its normal cost with a 1 egg discount. We're going to flip for the Automa, and they're going to play a bird. So their bonus card is Prairie Manager, so Montague's Harrier, they're going to gain that face up, worth 4 points. And then we can refill the tray. And they're also going to lose a cube on the end of round goal. So that helps us. That gives them down to 3 cards in hand, and we have 5. So we can actually play... the Eastern Imperial Eagle. And then draw cards if we want. I think we just hold on to these cards though. I'm really in no hurry to play a bunch of birds in round 1. It's cards in hand for the end of round goal, so I really think we should just take food here. Because I'm kind of worried about not being able to spend the nectar. I don't really want to spend it to reset the tray before I draw cards. And I want to get this Gala down. I haven't decided where I want to play it though. It could be in the forest or the grasslands. So, kind of thinking grasslands. That's where our engine's going to be closer to the end of the game, I think, or we hope. Yeah, I think we're going to take food here. And we'll take a nectar. So we get 2 food, so we'll take 1 nectar. And then there's 1 food left, so we're going to re-roll all 5. And then we'll take another nectar. And then we'll activate the Northern Cardinal and gain a cherry. Okay, that was our 7th turn. So next is the Automa. They're going to take food again. So in this order, so rats, then fish. So there is a fish that comes out. And Then they're going to gain a cube, so they're back up to 4 cards in hand. Alright. So we have 3 food now. We have no eggs, though. So we have to play this Gala. And we're going to play it in the grasslands for the 3 nectar. So all that's going to go here. Now that is down on the board, and that's our last turn. And that leaves us with 5 cards in hand. So we should be safe to win the end of round goal unless they get a cube here. And they're not getting a cube. And there's no birds that match that in the tray, so they're just going to gain 1 face down. And then we are going to flip for the Automa twice here. So we got to do this twice at the end of each round. So we're going to flip 1 and 2. And what this means is they're going to lose 1 in the forest and then gain 1 in the grasslands. So that's pretty easy. Now we can remove this remove after round 1 card. Flip this round tracker over to round 2 and then shuffle the Automa deck. Okay, that's shuffled. We can score the end of round goal. Alright, so they ended up with 2. They start with 2. They have 2 cubes, so they have 4 cards in hand. We have 5. So we're going to get first place there. Alright, and then we're going to reset the trade. Okay, we have Song Sparrow coming out. Eurasian Golden Oriole. And the Australian Zebra Finch. Okay. Alright, now we're ready to start round 2. Got all our cubes back. Okay. Nothing really great in the tray. I think I need some eggs. So we need eggs to play more birds. So let's lay eggs. This end of round goal is going to be eggs in platform nests. So we don't have any platform nests yet, but we do have the Eastern Imperial Eagle and this little penguin that's a star nest in our hand. So hopefully we can get that down by the end of the round and get some eggs on it to at least qualify. But for now, we can just put our eggs on the little cardinal or the northern cardinal. So we lay 2 eggs. We're going to activate the Gala. So we're going to choose one other player to reset the bird feeder. And there was a wheat there, so we're going to remove the wheat and give them a cash point, cash token, or a horde token. And then we tuck 2 from the deck behind this bird, so that is the Gala. Alright, and that's our first activation. Now we have eggs. Let's flip 1 for the Automa. So first action, round 2. Alright, they're going to be removing worm and seed, then worm. So there is a worm in here. So we'll take the worm out. And we still have no pink power, so that's it for the Automa's turn. So what can we play here? We really could play... I think we should get this Eastern Imperial Eagle down. So we're going to play this Eastern Imperial Eagle. And this has a little star by the rats in the food cost. And it says this is a predator power. So when played, for each rat in this bird's food cost, you may pay 1 card from your hand instead. If you do, tuck the paid card behind his hand. So we're going to tuck Seti's Warbler, Juniper Titmouse, and Pygmy Nuthatch all behind the Eastern Imperial Eagle. And that is going to be how you play it. And then we're just going to pay the 1 egg from the cardinal. And that's our second activation. And we'll flip for the Automa, and they're going to take food again. So they got rats, which is what's next. So 2 rats coming out. And then another activate pink powers, which we can't do. We really need some better cards here. We could gamble. We could take a fish. Try to get this little penguin down. Seems good. Let's actually do that. Let's take food. So there's 1 fish left. We could just re-roll in hopes of getting nectar. Or we could just take the fish. We have no spent nectar in the wetlands, though. So let's re-roll. Look at that. Plenty of nectar. So we're going to get 2 nectar. And then we'll activate the cardinal and get a cherry. So we're going to have a bunch of extra cherries this game. That was our 3rd turn. So we're going to flip for the Automa. They're going to discard the tray, which is good because I was tired of looking at those birds. They're going to gain a face down card for 4 points. We'll refill. And we have the Peregrine Falcon, Dick Sissel, and the Bush Tit. Alright, the Bush Tit's not bad. Wetlands. I don't know. Let's play our little penguin. Alright, so the little penguin is going to be going in the wetlands. So this next column over, it's going to cost 1 egg. So we'll pay with an egg from the cardinal. And it costs 3 fish, so we're going to spend 2 nectar. And then we're going to spend 2 cherries as a fish. And that's our turn. So we'll flip again for the Automa. And they're going to lay 2 eggs. And then they would lose a cube if they had one. Just checking there to see if they had already gotten a cube and I missed it. But yeah, they're just going to lay 2 eggs. And that's it. Okay, we have no cards in hand. We know we have to lay eggs by the end of the round, so we could get a total of 4. So I think I want to draw cards. I know we don't have the wheat for this cockatiel, but really that was just something for us to get down. So let's draw cards. The Bush Tit is interesting. Peregrine Falcon is also good. So that's a predator bird with you tuck. So look at a card from the deck. If less than 100 centimeters, tuck it behind this bird. So I kind of like the Bush Tit. And the Peregrine Falcon. I don't know if I want to pick them up, though. Yeah, why not? Let's just take both. Okay, so we drew 2 cards. We don't have an egg or a nectar to spend for a 3rd card, so we're going to activate the little penguin. And this says draw and discard 5 cards from the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these are just going to get discarded, but for each fish in the food cost of the bird, we're going to cash 1 from the supply. So the king rail is the only fish. So we get 1 cash on the little penguin. And then we have to skip the cockatiel because we don't have a wheat. We'll refill the tray. Got sacred kingfisher coming out. And the great tit. The great tit's good. A little expensive. 3 food. I kind of like the sacred kingfisher. So what nest type are we missing? We are missing ground nest. So we have 2 actions left. We need to lay eggs. Maybe we just lay eggs twice. I mean, it's 4 points, right? And we can even discard a cherry for a 3rd egg. So let's do that. Let's lay eggs. And we're going to discard this cherry. You can discard a food or a card here for a 3rd egg. So we're going to do that. So we're going to lay 3 eggs. So we'll do 1. We want to keep them on our platform nests. 3. And then we'll activate the gala. So we're going to reset this bird feeder. And there is a wheat. So we'll take the wheat worm and we'll give them a cash point. And then we tuck 2 from the deck. So already a decent amount of tucks. Let's flip for the automa. They're going to play bird. So they're going to get this dick sissel. Face up, worth 4. And that's it. We'll refill the tray and the trumpeter swan comes out. Okay, a 9-point white no power bird. Alright, so let's look at how many eggs they start with for round 2. So eggs in platform nest, they're going to start with 3, and each cube's going to be +1. So right now we have 3, and we can max out at 4. So maybe we just lay eggs again to kind of guarantee the win. We'll save the food this time. So we're going to lay 2 eggs. We'll put 1 on the cardinal and another 1 on the little penguin so that we're at the max of 4. We'll reset the bird feeder again. And we'll pull a wheat. Give the automa a cash token. And then we tuck 2 from the deck. So already having that nice little 4-point engine in round 2 is good. We need some better cards though to go with it. This peregrine falcon and bush tit could be good. We just don't have cards to supply the bush tit. Alright, that was our last activation round 2, so we'll flip for the automa one last time, and they're gonna wipe the tray here. And we won't refill it until next round. Give them a disc or a face down card and a cube on the end of round goal. So I think for round 2, so they start with 3, that puts them at 4, so we are gonna tie for that end of round goal. So we both have 4 here for eggs in platform nests. So that is going to be a tie. And then we still need to flip 2 cards here for the automa at the end of the round. So they're going to gain 1 in the grasslands there and then lose 1 as well. So that's going to cancel, and then they lose 1 in the wetlands. So that helps us. Okay, now we can remove this remove after round 2 card. Flip this round tracker to round 3. Shuffle the automa deck. And then we'll refill the tray. Get the cubes back. Refill the tray. So we have 3 new birds coming out. We got Eurasian collared dove, common nightingale, and the great egret. So a double play bird. None of that stuff looks too great for me. I think we're just going to build out this grasslands. So let's start by taking food. Let's take 2 nectar. And then we'll gain a cherry from the northern cardinal. We'll flip for the automa. 2 eggs and a cube. So this is cubes on play a bird for round 3, and we can look at the cubes on play a bird for round 3. They're going to start with 1. So they already have 2 cubes there now, but that could change. Okay, so we're going to want to play at least 2 birds. Well, we can play this peregrine falcon now. And I think I'm going to play that in the grasslands. So let's put that here. It's going to go out in our 3rd column. It's going to cost 2 rats. So we're going to spend 2 nectar. And we'll spend an egg from the cardinal. And that's going to be it. So now we have played at least 1 bird. We'll flip. And they're going to be removing cherry, so this cherry nectar comes out, and then we don't have pink powers. Okay, now we have the option of taking food again to get the bush tit down, and then maybe drawing cards and laying eggs. Yeah. I think that sounds like a plan. So let's take food. So we're going to take 2 food. So since there's just 1 rat left, we'll re-roll. Oh boy. So no nectar comes out there, which is harsh. What we'll take is a worm and a wheat. Or maybe a fish. Let's take a wheat and a fish. Okay, and then we're going to gain a cherry from the supply from our northern cardinal. And then we'll flip for the automa. And they're going to discard the 3 cards from the tray. So I was kind of thinking of picking up that great egret, but it's gone now. Give them a face down card worth 4. Refill the tray. Great butcher bird is good. South Island robin, and we have a ruddy duck. Alright, so what was I trying to do here? I think we play the bush tit, draw cards, and lay eggs. So we have 3 turns left. Let's play our bush tit. So we're gonna have a nice little engine going here in the grasslands once we get all this down. So we have a worm and a wheat, and then it's gonna cost 2 eggs, so we'll take an egg from eagle and the penguin, and we'll pay the worm and the wheat, and that's it. So we'll flip for the automa, and they're going to take food again, and there is a fish in there, so we'll take that fish out, and then no pink powers. So now we can draw cards so that we have something to at least tuck under that bush tit when we do lay eggs on our final turn. So we could spend an egg here, So eggs aren't really... We know we're going to be getting a bunch of eggs, so maybe we just discard an egg now to get 3 cards. So I kind of like that butcher bird for a nice... It would be a nice bird to put here. It is a bull nest. I wasn't really looking at mechanical engineer, so we need 2 sets of each type of nest. So we have one... I don't know. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3. So the bull nest would be 4. Okay, let's draw 2 from the top of the deck. We have scaled quail, and then we have the tui. All right. So yeah, for our third card, we discarded an egg, so we're gonna take the Great Butcher Bird. And then we're going to do the Little Penguin activation. So we're going to draw and discard 5 cards. And we want to see a bunch of fish here, so we're not seeing fish. Okay, so again, 1 fish in the food cost of all these birds. So we just cash 1 fish for 1 point. And then we have to skip the cockatiel because we have no wheat. Let's refill the tray. Spotted towhee comes up. All right, only 1 turn left. Let's flip for the automa. And no birds in there that are prairie manager birds, so they're just going to get a face down and another bird or another cube on play of birds. So they've played 3 birds. So that does put them in the lead there. Wise Guy Harry, thank you for the follow. So that puts them in the lead with 3 cubes on play a bird. So that is pretty swingy. I don't know. We're still going to stick to the plan. So we're going to lay 3 eggs here. I want to keep this butcher bird. So the eggs really don't matter. Let's just spread them out a little bit. So that's 3. And then we're going to tuck the tui under the bush tit for another egg. And then we're going to activate the falcon. So we're going to look at a card from the deck, and if it's less than 100. So if it's less than 100. Oh, this is 75, so yeah. So we're going to tuck this. That's why I like the Peregrine Falcon. Yesterday I had the Greater Roadrunner, and that only eats birds that are 50 centimeters, so. Alright, now we have the Gala. So we're just going to reset the bird feeder. And there is a wheat there, so we're going to take that wheat out. And then the automa is going to get a cash token. And then we tuck 2 from the deck. So a lot of tucks under this Gala, and I know we might not have the cards to supply the bush tit the whole time. Still, this is a 5-point engine, maybe 6. If we can get this butcher bird down, it's going to be nice. I don't know if it's worth it though. It is worth it for mechanical engineer because we will have 2 sets then, I think, if I did that right. So we have 2 stick nests. We have 2 of these nests. We have 2 star nests, and then we would have 2 bowl nests. Oh, we still need... No, the star nest count as the enclosure nest. So we should be good. If we can play this butcher bird, it's another 5 points, so it's a 10-point play. All right, did we flip this yet? No. All right, so last activation for the automa in round 3, they're going to play a bird. Again, there's no prairie manager birds in the tray, so they're just going to get a face down card and another cube. So they definitely win the end of round goal with 4 birds played. So for cubes on play a bird, they have 3 here. And then they also they start with 1 in round 3. So they're going to have a total of 4. And we only played 2 birds that round, so we get second place. Now we need to flip for the Automa. So at the end of every round, we're going to do this twice. Okay, so what this means is they're going to lose 2 in the wetlands, lose 1 in the grasslands, and then gain 1 in the forest. So we'll just put 1 there, and that's it. So we're not really competing for the spent nectar. Seems difficult. But we can remove after round 3 card. Flip this round tracker to round 4. Shuffle this deck up. And we should be ready to start round 4 as soon as we refill the tray. So last thing we have to do is refill this tray. Put our cubes back and we're good to go. So in the tray now we have the lesser white throat, the laughing kookaburra, and the black noddy. Okay. We need our cubes back. Always go first against the Automa. So what do I want to do here? To get this butcher bird down, I don't know if this is worth it or not. We have to take food at least 1 time. I guess that is worth it. Let's take food first. Alright, so we get 2 food. We're going to take a nectar and a rat. Okay, so that's our 2 food. And then from our northern cardinal, we just gain 1 cherry. And now we'll flip for the Automa's first turn in round 4. So they're going to lay 3 eggs and gain a cube on the end of round goal. So the end of round goal for round 4 is going to be worms in food cost of your birds. So if we look at the card for round 4, it's going to say worm and food cost of your birds. They start with 5. So they're already at 6 with 1 cube. We can count ours up. So we have 1. We have 1 with the bush tit. The butcher bird will put us at 2, but we're definitely not competing for this end of round goal. We just need to qualify. So let's play the butcher bird with our second action in round 4 here. So this is going all the way out in the 4th column of the grasslands, and it's going to cost 2 eggs. So we'll take an egg from the penguin. Let's take an egg from the penguin and the bush tit. And then we have to pay 1 of any food, so we'll use a cherry, and then we'll pay a rat and a nectar. So the spent nectar will go here. And that's that. That's our second turn. We played a bird. So we'll flip for the Automa, and they're going to discard the 3 cards from the tray. Get a face down card. And another cube on the end of round goal. So looking at 7 worm and food cost of their birds. Pie-billed grebe comes out. Black-neck stilt. And the western tanager. Okay, we don't really care. I think we have 3 easy turns left of just laying eggs. We'll just have to skip the bush tit twice. And hopefully that butcher bird comes in. For a couple points. So we're going to lay 4 eggs here. Alright, that's 4 eggs. Now we're gonna do we're gonna activate the butcher bird. So when activated, look at a card from the deck. If its wingspan is less than 40. Okay, so 28. So 28, so that's going to go under there. So it says, if its wingspan is less than 40, tuck it behind this bird and cache one rat from the supply on this bird. So that's 2 points. So that really makes up. So that's pretty good. Hey there. Alright, so we get a cache and a tuck on the butcher bird. And then we can activate the bush tit. So the bush tit is going to be, we're going to tuck our last card. So we have the scaled quail. And then that's going to give us an egg that we're going to lay on the bush tit. And then we'll activate the peregrine falcon. So we're going to look at a card from the deck. And if it's less than 100, we'll tuck it. So this is the magpie lark at 57. So we get another tuck there. And then we're going to activate the gala. So we'll reset the bird feeder. And there is a wheat, so we'll take the wheat and worm out. We'll give the automa a cache token. And then we tuck 2 from the deck behind this bird. So if that butcher bird hits, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 point engine almost. If we had cards to tuck under the bush tit, you know, this would be the way to go. We don't have the cards. We can't supply the cards. I'm not gonna spend an action drawing cards. This is it. We're just gonna lay eggs and get as many points as we can here. Hopefully, wrap up this first game. So we'll flip for the automa, and they're gonna play a bird and lose a cube, so that helps. But we're still not gonna win the end of round goal. And there's no bird out there in the tray, so they'll just get a face down card. And then we can lay eggs again. So we're going to lay 4 more eggs. Let's put 1 on the cardinal, the gala, put some on the cockatiel down here. Then we'll do the butcher bird. So we're going to look at a card from the deck. Okay, not less than 40. So the butcher bird missed. And then we don't have a card to tuck. So we'll look at this. This is 20 centimeters, so this is going to get tucked under the falcon. And then we can do the gala. So we're going to reset the bird feeder again. Bunch of wheat there, so we'll take a wheat and give the automa a cache token. Then we tuck 2 from the deck. So we have a decent amount of tucks under the gala. And we should have a decent amount of eggs. Bird points, not so great. We'll see how it goes. So let's flip for the automa. Alright, 3 eggs and lose a cube. So they're back down to just 5. Worm in food cost. But they are laying 3 eggs. So 1 turn left. Let's do it. Let's lay the 4 eggs. We can fill up the bush tit. And then we'll do the butcher bird. So we're gonna look. Okay, so 180. So it has to be less than 40. So it really only eats them smaller birds, I guess. It was nice for 2 points that one time, though. So then we have to skip the bush tit. Now we'll do the peregrine falcon. So we need less than 100. We got 18. Why couldn't we have that on the butcher bird? And then we'll do the gala 1 more time. So we're going to reset this feeder. Pull a wheat. Give a cache token. Tuck 2 from the deck. And that's going to be our last turn for round 4. So we'll flip for the automa one last time. They're taking food. So remove 2 fish. No pink powers. So we'll check the last time we're doing this as well. So we're gonna flip 1 and 2, and they'll lose 1 in the forest, gain 1 in the grasslands, and 1 in the wetlands. And then that's going to be it. So we can look at the end of round goals now. So worm and food costs of your birds, they have 5. We have 1, 2. So we definitely lost that. So we get second place there. This is a tie. And now we're just going to add this. So I believe that's everything. So we need to add the score up. And the first thing we're going to be adding is just the points on our board. Oh, we were playing on hard difficulty, so these are actually worth 5. I think I was saying 4 the whole time. But anyway, we have 9. $36 in bird points. Yeah, so 36 in bird points isn't that great. With our bonus card, I think we did hit this. So we have mechanical engineer. So sets of the 4 types of nests. So 1 set is 3 points and 2 sets is 8 points. Now you can use a star nest as any nest. So the way I'm interpreting this is if we have 2 bowl nests, which we do. We have 2 whatever box nest, whatever that is. The enclosure nest, we're using 2 star nests. And we have 2 platform nests. So that's going to be 8 points for bonus cards because we only have the 1 bonus card. Hey, I like your stream. It's good quality and entertaining. What's bothering is the change of camera with the axes. In my opinion, it's too loud for the calm and quiet game. Yeah, that's just a transition. So I think I could turn that off, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so I can just turn that off like that. So we just get 8 points for the bonus cards. Eggs, we can add up all of our eggs. So we got some eggs here. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, 16 eggs. We forgot to do the end of round goals. So end of round goals, we're blue. So we got second place here. So that's 4. So 7. We're going to split 3 each here. So that's 10. So 14, I think, for end of round goals. So we get 14 points. Food on cards. We do have 3 food on cards. So we ended up getting cash point here with the butcher bird and 2 fish cached on the little penguin. So that's 3. And now we can add up our tucked cards, and this is kind of where I'm hoping we made up a little bit, because this was pretty rough. Pretty rough scoring so far. But we have a lot of tucks under the gala here. And then we have one under the cockatiel. So we have a nice stack of tucked cards here. These are all 1 point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 tucked cards. Okay, not as many as I was hoping. And then we do the spent nectar. So for spent nectar, it's going to be 5/2 for majority. So we lost the forest. We just have one. So that's going to be 2 and 5 for the automa. And then in the grasslands, it looks close, but I still think we lost. We have 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we do tie. So that helps that we tied the spent nectar in the grasslands. So that's going to be, what, 3 each? And then in the wetlands, we definitely lost. We have 2 and they have 3. So we get 2, they get 5 again. And then we can add up the horde points for the automa. So playing on hard difficulty, every 3 is a point. So this is 2 points because they have 7. Total eggs, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 eggs. End of round goals, we can look at, they're purple. So they got 7 and 6 is 13, 16, 17 points for end of round goals. Face up cards, so they have 8 points in the Dick Sissel and the Montagu's Harrier, so 8. And then each one of these is going to be worth 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 45 points. So this should be pretty close. Can add this up. Alright, so we have 36 in bird points. Plus 8 plus 14. Plus 19. Plus 25. Plus 7. So 109 total. And then the automa score, 45. Okay, so they have 98. So we win by 11. I definitely thought it was going to be closer than that. But still a good game. We could do one more game. And try to get... We won't shuffle the cards back in. We'll just discard everything that was used. And we'll just draw all new stuff. So new end of round goals. And this time, I think let's play normal. So normal difficulty. They'll start with 4 nectar because I want to try and actually compete with the spent nectar. And we'll play with the Audubon Society card as well. So we're going to add that in. And we'll shuffle up the Automa deck. Flip it back to round 1. We're going to reset this feeder. Alright, so we shuffled the Automa cards. We're going to pick some new end of round goals. Scratch these. And we're going to play on normal difficulty, so with the Audubon Society card. So we can pick some new end of round goals. So for round 1, we're going to have enclosure nest birds with at least 1 egg. And then for round 2, we got beaks pointing right. For round 3, birds with tucked cards. And then we have birds in the forest for round 4, so it's pretty interesting. Not a real egg heavy game. Alright, so we can just jump right into it then. We'll put 3 birds out in the tray. So we got the wrybill. We have the red knot. And the northern goshawk. So those are going to be the 3 birds that are out in the tray for the start. And then we're going to draw an opening hand here. So we're going to take 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at what we got. So gray shrike thrush, Abbott's booby, gray heron, American woodcock, and the blue-gray gnatcatcher. Okay. We get 2 bonus cards. We need to flip 1 for the Automa first. So they're going to have fishery manager. So 18% of cards, birds that eat fish. So that's what they're looking for. There's already a 4-point wrybill out there in the tray. We'll take 2 bonus cards, and then we get to pick 1 to keep. So we have falconer here and forester. So forester is 3 to 4 birds that can only live in the forest is 4 points, and 5 birds get you 8 points. So we have the blue-gray gnatcatcher and the gray shrike thrush here that can only live in the forest. And then there's also a northern goshawk in the tray, putting us at 3. Then we'd have a really strong forest. We could also take the green heron and all that food that we're getting. We could go draw cards and trade the food. That doesn't seem like a bad option. So what are we looking at? The only other thing is, are we really going to get 5 birds that can only live in the forest? Or do we just take falconer and go for that northern goshawk? So So we could keep the falconer. So we have this gray shrike thrush and northern goshawk in the tray. So I think that's already 4 points. That's better. So I think I would still keep these 3. So we'll keep the green heron, the blue-gray gnatcatcher, and the gray shrike thrush. And then we're keeping falconer. We'll discard these 2 birds. And we'll get rid of forester. And this is our opening hand. So we start with a nectar. And then we can keep 2 different foods. So let's keep a worm and a fish. And then I think for turn 1 we just pick up the northern goshawk since we have falconer. So let's do that. Draw a card. Refill the tray. We got chipping sparrow that also looks really good for us. Oh, let's flip 1 for the automa. Okay, they're gonna take food, so worm and seed. This is coming out. No pink powers. Let's draw cards again. Let's take that chipping sparrow. So we're just taking 1 card. I know this is rough. We'll refill. The mallard comes out. We'll flip again for the automa. They're gonna lay 1 egg. Okay, now we can think about what we have to do here. So we can play this green heron for a fish. Get that on the board. So it's going to cost 1 fish. And then we'll flip for the automa. They're going to lay an egg and get a cube on the end of round goal. So we'll give them a cube. So now they have an enclosure nest bird with at least 1 egg. We don't have any enclosure nest birds. Something I didn't think about. Okay, now we can draw cards and trade our worm for a nectar. So we can draw 2 cards. Maybe we just take the mallard. That would give us an extra card. Let's just draw 2. Okay, so we have grasshopper, sparrow, and Princess Stephanie's Astropia. So this is a good forest bird. Choose another player, you both lay an egg. Paired with the chipping sparrow would be 2 eggs from the forest. Let's trade this worm for a nectar like we were gonna do. And then we'll flip for the automa. They're gonna lose that cube and lay 1 more egg. So I don't know if they start with 0 for round 1. Yeah, they're gonna start with 0. So hopefully they just keep bouncing back and forth there. And then they also lay 1 egg. Alright, we have this 2 nectar we need to spend. Let's put the shrike thrush down. So this is a predator bird. So we're going to put this in the forest. It's going to cost 1 nectar. So we'll put that in the spent nectar. No eggs. And that's our turn. We'll flip for the automa. They're gonna play birds again. So they're taking this rye bill finally. I don't know why I said again, but they're taking this rye bill that's been in there. And then it says lose a cube, so they don't have a cube. So we'll refill the tray. And Crimson Chat comes out. So that is discard a food to tuck a card from the deck behind this bird. Okay, that could be good. That could be good. I really think I should have played the Chipping Sparrow instead of the Shrike Thrush, so we're just going to switch that. Okay, now we can take food. Let's take a worm and a nectar. And then we can lay an egg on any bird. So we'll put one on the Chipping Sparrow. We don't have any enclosure nests for round 1. And then we'll flip for the Automa. They're going to discard the 3 cards from the tray, gain a face down card. Going to be worth 4 this time, so we're playing on normal now with we have the Audubon Society card in there. And then we can refill the tray. Alright, we have the Wild Turkey, the Savannah Sparrow, and the White-backed Woodpecker. Alright. So I was thinking about tucking. So right now in the hand we have Falconer as our bonus card. We have Gray Shrike Thrush, Blue-Gray Gnatcatcher, Northern Goshawk, Princess Stephanie's. We have 2 nectar we need to spend. We can play this Goshawk whenever we get more cards. So I'm thinking we just do it would be nice to get this Sparrow down and qualify for the end of round goal at least. But we would lose a nectar. That's okay, we're gonna lose the nectar. Let's play Grasshopper Sparrow for 1 nectar. And that's that. We'll flip for the Automa. We're gonna play birds, and then they're gonna get a cube, so they're back up to 1. So this might be worth it. I really like the White-backed Woodpecker. So this is nice, we can trade food with this green heron down here. Just my plans keep changing. Yeah. I really like the White-backed Woodpecker and the Wild Turkey, to be honest. It's 8 points. So what I was gonna do was lay eggs for the last turn, but just to tie the end of round goal doesn't seem worth it. So let's draw cards. We can take both the White-backed Woodpecker and the Wild Turkey, so that's 2 cards, and then we're gonna trade our nectar for something like a worm or a cherry. Alright, that's our last activation for round 1. And there is the Mississippi Kite, so that'd be good for Falconer. And we have Sandhill Crane. Okay, one more flip for the Automa. And they got Play a Bird, so they're looking for birds that eat fish. There's no birds that eat fish in the tray, so they'll just gain a face down card. We're going to do this twice. Okay, so they're going to gain 1, lose 1, gain 1, so we'll just gain 1, lose 1. And then they gain 1 in the forest. Alright, now we remove the round 1 card, if we can find it. So this one comes out. Flip this to round 2. Shuffle. We're gonna reset the tray. We got the southern cassowary, the rufous owl. Okay, that's a predator bird worth 7 points. That could be good for Falconer. And then we have red-headed woodpecker. So we didn't score the end of round goal. The end of round goal we lost. We didn't qualify, so they're gonna get the 4 points, and we're gonna get 0, which is bad. But it is what it is. We get our cubes back, and we can start round 2. So we have a lot of birds. Now that I'm thinking about it, Forester would have been better for the 8 points, probably. I mean, we have 2, 4. Yeah, we have 4 points in predator birds right now, and there's 1 in the tray. But we already have 5. Oh, we played the chipping sparrow, so we couldn't have gotten 5. So I think I want to play this white-backed woodpecker first. Okay, that's going to get us another food when we activate it. So that's going to cost a worm or a cherry. We'll use the cherry and the egg from the chipping sparrow. And then we can flip for the Automa. And they're going to play a bird, so they're looking for birds that eat fish. There are none out there, so they'll get a face-down card. No cube. Moving on. We can take food. So we get 2 food here. We can discard a card for a 3rd food. But we're going to get a 3rd food from this woodpecker. So let's take a rat. And now that there's 1 left in the feeder, we can re-roll. And then for our 2nd food option, we're just going to take a nectar, obviously. And then we get another food from the woodpecker. So let's take a worm. Or do we want a wheat? Let's take a wheat. And then we can lay an egg on any bird from the chipping sparrow. So we'll put 1. Eggs don't matter anymore for the end of round goals, so we'll just spread them out. I'm going to flip here for the Automa. Alright, they're going to be removing food. So cherry, no. Wheat, no. Rat, no. Fish, yep. So the fish is coming out. And then they gain a cube on the end of round goal. So beak's pointing right, it is. Right now we have 1, 2. And really nothing else in the hand. We do have the wild turkey, though. For beaks pointing right in round 2, they're going to start with 2. So they're at 3 right now, and we have 2. So we could tie with this wild turkey. I think I want to play my gray shrike thrush. So we're going to play this in the forest out here in the third column. So it does cost an egg. We'll take the egg from the woodpecker. And then it's going to cost a rat or a worm. We'll pay with a rat. That's our turn. One more flip for the automa. Playing birds again. So again, no birds in the tray that eat fish. So another face down and a cube on the end of round goal. So they're really getting up there. That's 4 birds with beaks pointing right. But we have this forest going. So let's lay eggs. I need to think about this. So if we lay eggs, we can only play 2 more birds in the forest. And we have the northern goshawk, Princess Stephanie's wild turkey, and blue-gray gnatcatcher. Goshawk goes with falconer. So I think we tuck Princess Stephanie's and gnatcatcher under goshawk. And then we'll have to draw cards eventually. But for now, do we want to lay eggs? Or do we just take food? Let's just take food and try to get this wild turkey down. So we can reset this feeder because they're both the same. And that didn't help at all. That actually made things worse. So let's take the worm and the fish. Now they're all the same again. So when we get to our woodpecker, we can re-roll. So worm and fish is what we got. And then we'll reset the bird feeder again. And then it says gain all rats. So there's 2 rats, and then we can cache all of them. So we'll do that. Then we'll take another wheat from the woodpecker, and then we'll lay an egg on the heron. Okay, next turn for the automa, they're just going to lay 2 eggs and lose a cube. So they're back down to 3 birds, and they lay 2 eggs here. So they got 5 eggs. All right, we can play this wild turkey now. It's just, do I want it to be my forest bird? We can't play it in the forest yet. We'd have to take food, then play it. Let's put this wild turkey down in the grasslands. Alright, so that's going to be 2 wheat and a nectar as a cherry. So we'll put the spent nectar there. It's going to cost 1 egg, so we just have the 1 on the green heron. And then automa's up. So 2 eggs and losing another cube. So we might win this end of round goal just from what we did here. Yeah. So 7 eggs. And they lost their cube. So beak's pointing right in round 2. Is it right? Yeah, it's right. So they have 2. And we do have 3 now with this wild turkey. So we have chipping sparrow, green heron, and wild turkey. So that's 3. It's still not the end of the round though, so we can lay eggs and play our goshawk. And then maybe draw cards. Maybe we should draw cards now while that Rufous Owl is out, because that's going to be our last bird. So let's draw cards. We're going to draw 1 off the top of the deck. So this cassowary I never really looked at. Discard a bird from your forest and put this bird in its place. Do not pay an egg cost. If you do, lay 4 eggs on this bird and gain 2 cherries from the supply. No. That's too much. So let's take 1 off the top. Okay, we got red-capped robin. That might be better to tuck than what we have under here now. So yeah, we can keep the... I don't know. It really doesn't matter. We can't play any more forest birds after this. So we have red-capped robin. And then we're going to take Rufous Owl because we want that to be our last forest bird. Now we can trade something for something. Let's trade a fish for a rat. Or let's trade a worm for a rat. Diversify the food there. Can't take nectar because we probably won't spend it. Okay, Barred Owl comes out. That also goes with Falconer. So this is crazy. A crazy Falconer game. We don't seem to have that many. So we need to at least beat 8 points. Let's flip again. Taking food. So worm and seed. There is one worm seed. Take that out. No pink powers. Yeah, we can lay eggs now. And we can even discard this red-capped robin for a 3rd egg. So we're going to get 3 eggs, and then we'll get 1 on the grasshopper sparrow as well. So let's just spread these out. 1, 2, 3. And then we lay 1 on any bird, so we'll put 1 there. And that's our last activation, round 2. So we'll flip for the Automa. They're going to take food. There's only 1 left, so we got to re-roll. And then 2 fish come out. And then we're going to do this twice at the end of each round. So we'll do this and this. And this just means they're going to gain 1 in each habitat for the spent nectar. So that does seem really hard to compete with spent nectar, especially with this Audubon Society card when it comes up. So we'll remove, what was that, round 2? Remove this round 2 card. And we'll flip to round 3. Shuffle the deck up. Okay, for the end of round goals, we do have 3 birds. They had no cubes, and they start with 2. So beaks pointing right, and then on our board we have 3 birds with beaks pointing right. So we have the chipping sparrow, the green heron, and the wild turkeys technically pointing right. So that's 3. So we get first place, and they'll take second. Okay. So we get our cubes back. We need to reset the tray. We're gonna have 3 new birds to look at. So white-throated swift, another tuck and lay bird, great-crested grebe, and the coarse-skinned nuthatch, bonus card bird. So I know I want to play both the Rufous Owl and the Northern Goshawk, and I already have the cards tucked under the Goshawk. So we have these 4 forest birds. I want to play these 2, so we can play this Goshawk now and tuck both Princess Stephanie's and Blue-Gray Gnatcatcher underneath and pay no food cost. So we'll do that. So first turn, round 3, we're going to play a bird out here in this column. So this is a 4th column of the forest. So we're going to tuck 2 cards as the food. We're going to spend 2 eggs. And that's it. And that's going to give us another 2 points for Falconer for the bonus card. And then for turn 1 for the Automa, they're going to discard all 3 cards from the tray. Gain a face down card. And lose a cube they don't have. Okay, white-faced heron comes up. That's another falconer bird. We got spotted owl and Cooper's hawk. So we're looking at a lot of falconer birds this game. I think I'm going to take food. So that's going to be our best engine right now. But we do need to get some kind of grassland bird going. But let's start. Let's just take food. We'll take this worm. And then there's 2 worms left, so we can re-roll. And we get 2 more. Okay, 4 nectar in there, so let's take 2 nectar. So we can kind of try to compete with that spent nectar. And then we're going to reset the bird feeder again from the Shrike Thrush. Gain and cache all rats, so there is a rat, so we'll cache that. And then we gain 1 more from the bird feeder, so we're going to gain another nectar, and then we're going to lay an egg from the chipping sparrow. So we'll put that on the wild turkey, and then we can flip for the automa. Okay, they're going to play a bird, so they're going to take the white-faced heron because it eats fish. Face up, 6 points, and they get a cube on the end of round goal. So this is birds with tucked cards. And for round 3, birds with tucked cards, they're going to start with 1, so that cube puts them at 2. And we have 1 technically. Now we could get Rufus Owl out and end up having 2 as well, but I don't know. There's ring-billed gull as well, so we could do that. That could be another bird with a tucked card. You could easily play it too. I think for now I want to play the Rufus Owl. So we're playing our last forest bird, which is crazy. So we're going to spend the 3 nectar. And 2 eggs. Flip for the automa. There goes all 3 of those cards. Another face down card. Refill the tray. Northern Gannet. Atlantic Puffin. Greylag Goose. Puffin's good. Gannet is a predatory bird or a falconer bird. We only have 3 actions left though. Let's take food once. No, let's just draw 2 cards. So we're going to take Puffin and Gannet. And then we'll trade a food for another food. So let's just trade a worm for a fish. Or do we want a nectar? We're going to probably get plenty of nectar. But let's trade a worm for a nectar. Okay, refill the tray. Eurasian Jay. Pukeko. Flip. Alright, birds that eat fish. So none out there, so they'll get a face down card and a cube. So they're already at 3 or 4 birds with tucked cards. I don't think we're going to be able to compete with that. We can take food once and try. So we're going to get 4 food here. Let's take 2 nectar. Then we'll re-roll. Take 2 more nectar. Are we going to be able to spend all that nectar? No. So maybe we just, for the last 2 food, we can spend 3 nectar if we play the Puffin. So yeah, let's just take the fish and the rat. And then draw 1 face up from the tray with a wingspan less than 75 centimeters and tuck it behind this bird. So the Eurasian Jay is 58. That puts us at 2 tucked cards. Then can reset the feeder again. Cache all of our rats. So there's one rat. Gain another food from the bird feeder. Let's take a worm. Then we'll lay an egg on another bird. Put one on the turkey. Flip for the automa, refill the tray. Okay, they're gonna remove something from the bird feeder. So fish, then rats, then cherries. So this cherry nectar will come out. We don't have any pink powers. And I think we're gonna play Puffin here. So Puffin's gonna go down. It's gonna cost 3 fish, so we are just gonna spend the 3 nectar so we don't lose it. And then it'll cost 1 egg, so it'll take an egg from the wild turkey. And the Puffin is 8-point star nest, and it says when played, draw 2 new bonus cards and keep 1. So we're gonna look at these 2 new bonus cards we got. Alright, so we have Nest Box Builder and Ecologist. So Nest Box Builder is birds with this kind of nest. How many of those do we have? So with the star nest, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're not quite hitting Nest Box Builder. Ecologist is birds in your habitat with the fewest birds. So this is already 4 points. We'll keep that. Discard Nest Box Builder. Flip for the automa. Okay, they're removing food again. So the first thing there is going to be the worm. And then no pink powers. So that will be the end of round 3. And birds with tucked cards, they have 3 and we have 2. So we did lose by 1. It's okay. We have to flip this twice. Alright, so both of these are going to cancel out and they'll gain 1 in the grasslands. Then we need to remove the remove after round 3 card, and we're on to round 4, so final round of the game. Shuffle the deck. Clear the tray. 3 new ones. So we have Greater Prairie Chicken, Bell's Vireo, Black-billed Magpie, cool. So this gannet's 7 points minus an egg. We could play it. This isn't my best game, not gonna lie. We really don't have cards. We'll see how it goes though. So we're gonna see. I would like to pick up both the Greater Prairie Chicken and Bell's Vireo because I could probably play them both by the end of the round by gaining food once. And that's 2 more bonus cards. I know I'm kind of gambling, but this gannet, if we play gannet, we have 4 turns. Okay, if we play gannet, we have 4 turns left. So we would draw cards, pick both of them up. Yeah, we wouldn't have eggs. So right now, we have 2, 4, 6. So gannet would be another 2 points for a falconer. Maybe we just do Bell's Vireo. Let's play gannet. See if they wipe the tray or something. I don't know though. Maybe we should just draw cards. I'm in no rush. Alright, let's take 1 off the top. Okay, Lazuli Bunting, and then we'll take Bell's Vireo so we can try to draw another bonus card. Now we can use this green heron to trade a food for a food. So let's trade rat for a nectar. Refill the tray. Flip for the automa. Snowy egret is another falconer bird, so I feel like I've seen a lot of falconer birds, and they are going to wipe the tray, so I'm glad I picked up that Bell's Vireo. Greater prairie chicken was 1 more point, but it's another food as well. I don't know. That probably would have been better. So they get a face down card, lose a cube, and 3 new cards come out. So we have the honey buzzard, common chiff-chaff, and the rufous banded honey eater. All right. What are we doing here? I don't know. Alright, so I want to play these 2 birds. So that's 2 of my turns. So maybe just lay eggs right now? We're gonna lay eggs. We're gonna lay 3, so we're gonna get rid of a rat to lay a 3rd egg. And then we'll activate the grasshopper sparrow, lay another egg. Flip for the automa. They're gonna discard the 3 cards again. Face down card and a point, or a cube. So birds in the forest for round 4, let's see. They start with 3, so the cube puts them at 4. We have 5. Let's refill the tray. Black-bellied whistling duck. Black-throated diver. American avocet. Let's play gannet. So this northern gannet's going down. 2 fish. 1 egg. Another 2 points on falconer. We'll flip for the automa. Playing birds, so they're gonna get this black-throated diver face up. Didn't catch that. And there is Alduin's goal. That would have been much better for them to take. Alright, next turn, let's play Bell's Vireo. So, another bonus card bird, and another 2 points on Ecologist, which we did pick up. So, 2 worms, that's going to cost. And then we have 1 action left, so we can spend a nectar and a card, which we have here. And it's kind of perfect. So, we're playing Bell's Vireo. We paid the 2 worms. I don't remember if we paid the egg. No. So we'll take an egg. And then we can draw 2 bonus cards and pick 1 to keep. Alright, so we have Historian and Cartographer. So Historian is birds with an apostrophe S in their name. We have Bell's Vireo, so that's 2 points. And then we also have Cartographer, so birds with geography terms in their name. So Northern, and Atlantic, and Northern. So this is 3, and this is 2. So let's take the Cartographer for 3, obviously. And we'll discard Historian. Okay, that's it. Flip for the automa. So they're playing birds and losing cubes. So we are going to win that end of round goal, which is helpful. But they do take Alduin's goal, which is also helpful because it's only 1 point, and they get that face up. So refill the tray. Yellowhammer comes out right at the end of the game. And we're just going to lay eggs. So we're going to lay 2 eggs here. And then we're going to spend both a nectar. So the spent nectar will go here. And then our last card we're going to discard. So we get 2 extra eggs. So we get 4 eggs here. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll lay 1 more egg from the grasshopper sparrow, and that's going to be our turn. And that's going to be it for round 4. So flipping for the Automa's last action, they're going to be taking food. So not that it matters, but we'll re-roll. Okay, no rats, no fish, 1 cherry. So we'll take the cherry nectar out. No pink powers. We need to flip this twice. So there's the Audubon Society card. Okay, so that hurts. They're going to gain 2 in the wetlands, 2 in the grasslands, and 1 in the forest. So 2 here. No way we're competing with this. They have big stacks here. And that's going to be the end of the game. So we can add this up. We need to look at round 4 goals. So they start with 3 birds in the forest for round 4. So they have no cubes. We have our forest full. 5 birds in the forest. So we do take first place there, which is nice for 7 points. I guess technically 3 points. And then we just add the rest of this up. So for our bird points, we did a little better this game, I think, with the bird points. So what did I get? 36 last game. So yeah, this is 10, 15, 17, 19. All right, so we have $48 this time, so a little better. Bonus cards, we definitely did better. These are the 3 bonus cards we have. So we have Cartographer, which is birds with geography terms in their names. Northern, Atlantic, another northern, so that's 3, so we get 3 for that. And then ecologist is birds in your habitat with the fewest birds. So these are tied for 3, so this is 2, 4, 6, so that's 9 total, plus 2, 4, 6, 8 for falconer, so 2 points per predator bird. So what did we have? We had 3. So this is 9 and 8. So 17 points from bonus cards. That's not bad. End of round goals. Did okay. So blue. We got nothing for round 1. 5 points here. That's 8. And 7 is 15. So 15 points for end of round goals. Look at our eggs. Not too many eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 eggs. Food on cards, we did okay. We have the gray shrike thrush here, 4. Tucked cards, we have some under this. And some under the Rufus Owl. Yeah, this isn't going to be as good as I thought. 3 tucked cards. And we lost all of the nectar. So 2, 2, and 2. So then we'll add up the Automa's points. So for their eggs, they have 7. End of round goals. Purple 4. So that's 10, 12, 16 points. Face up birds, they have let's see, 16. And then for face down cards, these are going to be worth 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 36 points. Okay, and that's everything. So just add all this up and see how he did. So we have 48 bird points. $17 bonus card points, 15 end of round goal, okay, so 101 total. Not the best, still over 100, so not bad. Let's count the Automa's points. So 36 plus 16 plus 16 plus 7 plus 15. So 90. So 101 to 90. So a little bit easier with the nectar. Still a good game. But that's going to wrap it up for today. So thanks for watching. And have a good one.